If you want to have more time in your day in order to accomplish all your goals, all your dreams, and all your desires, then you need to listen to this. Everyone has the same number of hours in a day. Everyone has 24 hours. Whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're young or old, everyone has the same number of hours. But the difference between the rich people and the poor people is how we manage our time, right? Because everyone gets the same number of hours, but it's what you do that makes all the difference, right? So what you need to do if you want to make a difference in your life is you need to be very intentional on how you use each and every second of the hours that are allocated to you in your day. So to begin with, I would like to tell you that if you want to have more time in the day, you need to treat your day as a project. You need to look at your day as a whole from the outside as a project and try to manage that project. You look at your day, how many hours does your day have? Your day is 24 hours. And what things do you want to accomplish in that day? So this could be like your career related goals, like you need to go to work. This could also be like your physical health related things. Maybe you need to exercise and you need to eat. This can be social. You need to spend time with your family. And it could be like a whole lot of different things. Or this can be like also stuff for your personal growth. You need time for yourself to grow and learn about yourself and different kind of things, right? So you allocate from the time that you wake up. For example, you wake up at 6, so between 6 and 7, maybe this is your me time. You do what you want to do, your morning routine that you do when you wake up. Between 7 and 8, maybe you're preparing yourself for work or school or whatever that is that you do. Between 8 and 9, you're getting ready and driving to work. Between 9 to 5, you're working. 5 to 6, you come back home. 7 to 8, you eat dinner. 8 to 9, you watch, you have entertainment or winding down time or whatever. So you need to give a slot for each task that you want to accomplish in your day. So the tips that I'll give you is this. The first thing that you need to do is this. You need to really, really be intentional to sticking to your obligations. You need to make sure that if you say that you're going to wake up at 6 o'clock every day, then you are going to wake up at 6 o'clock every day. And you do the things that you've really said you're going to do. And another thing that I know that can help you is like in the beginning, I would challenge you to begin this in like just 1 week. Start very small. Don't give yourself pressure, because pressure never works. Pressure makes people just to abandon the whole thing and say, you know what, I can't do it. But if you start small, give yourself with a 1 week challenge to start this and implement it and see if it works. So my tip would be like this. For example, let's talk about everything that happens like from the morning to after work. That stuff is almost okay because you have to go to work, otherwise you're going to be fired, right? So that stuff you really don't need to be monitored when that is concerned. In my opinion, the problem comes when you come back from work. This is when you have all this time, like let me say between 6 and I don't know what time you sleep, assuming you sleep at 10, because if you want to wake up at 6 the following day, then you need to sleep at 10 so you can have 8-hour sleep, which is very advisable for grown-ups. You need to sleep at least 8 hours if you want to be productive and not cranky, because lack of sleep makes you become cranky. So it is what you do with those hours between 6 and 10 that makes all the difference. All the things that you need to do in your day, which are not your job, need to be done in this time, right? So for example, I personally have decided to allocate myself an hour between 7 and 8 for relaxing. So this is the time when I can play an episode of a series that I'm watching, or I can watch something on YouTube, or I can just scroll on social media, any social media app that I like. And I literally put a timer on my phone to remind me that, girl, the time for entertainment is over. Now is the time to move on to the next thing on your to-do list. So you need to set a timer for yourself, because it's difficult for you to just wake up and become disciplined, but you need to instill that stuff in yourself. And when you hear that timer, don't snooze it. Do not snooze. Just say, okay, entertainment time is over. Now it's time for I don't know, whatever you do. Maybe you want to read a book, maybe you want to meditate, or whatever stuff that you want to do in your day before you go to bed, or maybe you want to spend time with your spouse or talk or whatever. You need to say, okay, now I'm moving on to reading a book. Maybe you've allocated 30 minutes a day to reading a chapter of a book or a chapter in the Bible, or to do Bible study. Again, the timer. You sit down, you start reading, and when the timer goes off, I know this sounds very mechanical, like, oh, how do we survive with a timer? In the beginning, you need a timer to keep you in check. But as time goes on, you become so used to it. And as you become more disciplined, you don't need a timer to police you. I know a timer is kind of like a police. It's just like hovering and telling you, now it's time to stop. Now it's time to do this. It can sound annoying and irritating in the beginning. But I assure you, as you do this more, as this habit becomes part of you, you won't need a timer because you will be disciplined. But the fact that we are talking about you having more time in the day means that you are lacking in the discipline department. So we are trying to get you disciplined. So do whatever it takes in order for you to be disciplined and have more time in the day to be able to accomplish all the things that you want and to become productive and successful and meet all the goals that you want, right? So we talked about setting a timer, and then we also talked about giving like maybe the previous night before you go to bed, you need to have like a to-do list for tomorrow. Okay, what am I going to do tomorrow? Tomorrow, you can have a to-do list, which is kind of like a checklist with a box where you can literally tick, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. You can do it on your phone, or if you like writing, you can do it in a physical book. And then as you accomplish this thing, you tick, or you check the box. It'll give you some sort of accomplishment and just the satisfaction that, yes, I did it. Yes, I did it. And at the end of the day, you look at your list and you saw that you were really productive, and you make another list for tomorrow, and you go on and go on and go on. Some days you may not have as many things as you have the other day. It just depends on your day, but you need to always make sure that at the end of the day, you ask yourself, did I learn something new today? And you need to have learned something. Otherwise, that day was like a zero gain day. So you need to have a day, you have to have a thing that you learn with each day that passes. But also after having used every hour of the day to accomplish all the things on the list. Then the other thing that I want to say is, if you want to have more time in a day, is remember I said maybe you finish work at 5, and then 5 to 6 you're traveling back home, and maybe 6 to 7 you're having dinner. There are not many dishes that I know that can be cooked and eaten in under 1 hour. So the best advice that I can give you guys is an advice that has really, really, really helped and changed my life, is meal prep and meal planning. I cannot express to you the way that meal prep has helped me. Honestly, every week I take maybe on a Saturday, usually Saturdays, I take 3 hours of my day to sit down, prepare my meals, go do some grocery shopping. I make sure there's starch, there's veggies, and then there's a protein in every meal that I'm making. And I make 4 or 5 different meals for the whole week, and I already pack it in containers and put that food in the fridge. So I already know that I have food for the next coming days that is healthy and fresh. And when I'm coming back from work, I don't have to stress myself trying to figure out, what's for dinner. Like, we all know that how annoying that is, trying to figure out what to eat. But if you know there's food in your fridge, you just go and say, okay, which one do I want to eat from these things that's in the fridge, right? So you pick what you want to eat because you know healthy food is already there. And this also helps you to avoid buying takeout, because most of the time I used to be so lazy. Like, I'm at work, I'm tired, and I'm driving home, and I just just pass by McDonald's or KFC or something, you know, and I just buy food because I'm hungry and I'm lazy to think about what to eat. So I just buy this food and I go home and I eat. So number one, it saves you money by not just buying random junk food, and it also is healthy in that you already know that you're having a healthy meal waiting for you at home. And it also is just it takes away the stress, like guys, meal the stress of coming up with a meal for dinner is real. Like, I don't know about you, but for me, it's a whole thing. Like, I sit down, I take a pen and a paper, and I start to plan what I'm going to make. Like, I don't want to be going through that stress every day of my life. I'm not doing that. Okay? So try meal prepping and see, it will change your life in so many different aspects, like I've said. And then the other thing that you need to do is when you're doing the things that you want to do, right? The things on your checklist, try to set your phone off. Switch your phone off, because phones can be distracting. Like, imagine if you're personally, this is another tip that I'd like to give you guys. For as long as I can remember, I disabled notifications. There are no notifications on my phone for any app or messages, WhatsApp messages, notifications on social media, text messages. There are no notifications on my phone. So I always say, I will respond to your message when I take my phone and decide to check your messages. Like, this is my motto, and everyone who speaks to me knows this, that I'm not someone who's going to be responding immediately when you text me, because I'm not going to check my message the moment it gets in, because there's no notification. So I leave my phone on the table. You can send as many messages as you want, and I'm not going to check my phone until I have time to check my phone. But if it's very urgent, then you can call me and I'm going to hear it. And actually, I think my phone also doesn't have a ringing tone, but it vibrates. So I don't know, it's just been like this for a long time. But the thing with the ringing tone is really not intentional. But I think I go to work and I put it on silent and I forget to take it out of silent. But this really works for me because I'm never distracted with, imagine so many groups. If you're on so many groups, like constantly messages coming in. And another tip, also get out of all those groups. You're a grown-up adult. You don't need to be in groups like 5, 6, 7, 8 different groups. What are those groups for? Just be in a group maybe for work, a group for your family, a group for, I think that's it. Maybe for church. I don't know the other 2 groups. I'll give you leeway. But don't be in more than 5 groups. Like, life is busy. You don't have time to be in all those groups. You don't have time. You can't spend your time in WhatsApp groups and talking to people. Come on, guys. Come on. We are too grown up for this. Get out of all those groups and just focus on your life, right? Okay, I digress. Where was I? I was talking about setting a timer on your phone. Yes, I was talking about setting a timer on your phone when you're doing something. So suppose you're like in your meditation phase, or for me, it's like my me time with God. I like to just switch off. I don't want my phone to ring or something. I can put it on flight mode and just get into the zone. And I usually like to play, because there's this music that I like to play on YouTube. I usually like to play it on my phone, but of late I've started playing it on my computer because I want my phone to be off. I don't want any distractions. So if your phone rings, if you're someone who has like many notifications, it's going to distract you from even when you're reading a book or whatever you're doing. The only time you're allowed to be attending to your phone is when you're within your 1 hour entertainment window of scrolling and chatting and doing all those things you want, right? Okay, so the other thing I wanted to say is that you have goals for each day. Like I've already mentioned, like with each day you need to be able to learn something new. At the end of the day, sit down. I would advise you to journal, because the journaling really has made a difference in my life. Maybe I'll make another video about that, but you need to sit down and just ask yourself, what have I learned today? like there's so much to learn. Like in life, we are always learning, constantly learning about different and better ways to do things, ways to be a better person, ways to be a better friend, a better spouse, a better employee. Even at work, did you learn something new at work? We are always learning. You can never have been all learned out, like now I know everything that I need to know. That's very dangerous. So at the end of the day, just take time and just write down, what did I learn today? How has this changed my life? For me, it's usually things. I mean, it could be also at work. Maybe I learned an easier way to do stuff at work, or I learned something about myself from my friends or from my colleagues. But most importantly, what I like to reminisce on at the end of the day is from the Bible, because I really like to learn from the Bible. I'm a Christian, and I believe that my ultimate goal in life is to become like Jesus in every aspect. So when I read the Bible, I try to make it be practical to my life and find practical ways to implement this. So when I read about forgiveness, then I know, okay, what have I learned? I've learned that I need to forgive people because Jesus has also forgiven me. So I need to forgive people. I may not be doing this right now, but I need to work on it. So at the end of the day, I ask myself, what did I learn? This is what I learned. And this is anything. It doesn't have to be something from the Bible. It can be, okay, I learned to be more patient. I learned to be more understanding, or whatever. And then you call it a day, and then you go to bed. So there are so many things that I can tell you guys to have more time in the day. But for today, I just wanted you guys to be very intentional about how you spend each and every second and minute of your day. And I hope this will help you, and it will make you become more productive and more efficient, and be able to achieve all the things that you desire, because it's all about time management. If you waste your time doing unproductive things, then that's it. So you're just going to be stuck in the same place, and you're not going to move in any direction. So I would challenge you to start doing this. Like, give yourself a 1-week challenge to implement these things that I've said, and let me know the results after a week. Let me know what you see. Let me know if this has worked for you, if you've seen any difference, and let me know in the comments below. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until the next video, I love you all. Bye.